Virgin Galactic has successfully completed its first commercial space flight.
The Richard Branson-founded company sent 6 people, most from the Italian Air Force, and some of its own employees to the edge of space in a mission that lasted about an hour. Well, next up, paying customers will travel. Let's bring in Jordan Bimm, space historian at the University of Chicago. Jordan, good to see you. What was your first reaction to this successful mission?
Well, it was Virgin Galactic getting back in the game. You know, we remember 2 summers ago, Richard Branson rode to the edge of space on the VSS Unity, but since then, they haven't done any more flights except for a test flight back in May. So this was them really reasserting themselves and getting back in the game, because Blue Origin and SpaceX have been very active in sending paying customers to space. So this was Virgin Galactic kind of getting back in the game. And their plan is now to start regular human space flights to the edge of space. And we've never seen that before. No space company, no space agency has ever had a regular scheduled human space flight every month. So that would really change the game for access if they're able to prove the reliability of their system.
I'll tell you what, the timing is really tough, though, after the Titan debris was discovered at the bottom of the ocean just a week ago. Now, those adventurers paid $250,000 to tour the Titanic. This one's going to cost almost $500,000. A lot of people are concerned about the timing, but they've been working on this for 2 decades.
Well, everyone in the space world was watching the implosion of the Titan and the search for that crew very closely. There's a lot of parallels between these two areas, not only because one of the passengers on the Titan, Hamish Harding, was a paying customer on a Blue Origin space flight just last year, but because these forms of risky adventure tourism, we finally have seen a case in which they are very, lethal. So I think this is a giant wake-up call for anybody with a ticket to space or anywhere else that's very dangerous, to really think deeply about, can you trust the owners and operators of these systems and how they speak about the reliability and safety of these vehicles, which are very new and not very well tested in a lot of cases. You kind of have to put a lot of faith there. So, Virgin Galactic claims to have hundreds of people having already paid for these tickets, and that would be starting to be passengers on these monthly space flights. They have to be, kind of reevaluating the risk reward in their heads after the Titan.
It's just hard to believe that many people have that kind of money, too, to spend on this, right? Jordan, these missions, while they seem like just fun and games for tourists, they have important missions typically tied to them. How does space tourism actually benefit all of us?
That's a good question. So sometimes these missions are for sightseeing, for very wealthy people to get a spaceflight experience, look back at the planet Earth from the edge of space, and have that intense, overwhelming feeling of awe that many people report. This flight, though, was sponsored by the Italian Air Force and the Italian National Science Foundation. So they were doing science in microgravity. Of course, these suborbital flights are so short. There's only 15 minutes from the start of the engine ignition to the landing, and only about 4 minutes of weightlessness in the zero-G environment. So imagine your favorite pop song, and that's about as long as they have in the cabin to float around, look out at the Earth, and do their science experiments. So it's unclear whether or not this is actually going to be a good platform for doing science going forward, considering how short it is, but they're trying that out here, and we're going to see going forward whether or not we have more science flights or more just sightseeing flights.
Well, we just hope whatever they do it safely and everybody comes out unscathed. Thank you for taking time to talk to us today, Jordan, from University of Chicago.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Sally.